Ambalanders. Yeah, today is a special day, and I feel as coming to uh, discuss the struggle. And we've heard the recent outing of uh, the Canada talks, or some people call it pre-talk, some people call it Canada outreach, some people call it whatever, but it's still about Ambazonian struggle. And I want us to talk about that because I've seen a lot of different issues, the discussions. But what I want to emphasize is about the outcome. If we have any discussion that has to bear fruit, it has to be genuine and factual. It has to be from what we know that we have been fighting for. We are not been fighting for talks just for go and sit and talk without knowing why our people were fighting for. Okay, we have to have all that in mind when we go for negotiation. We are not in this struggle because of any jokes, any form of type of negotiation that will just go like that. Okay, we know why we are in this struggle. For the past years, for the past 60 years, we have been under colonization. We have been under annexation. Okay, La Republic just is trying to do what we call territorial aggrandizement. There is no other word you can describe what La Republic is doing to us. This is colonization. We have to call it as it is. Exploitation, what you want to call it, imperialism, what you want to call it, whatever name you want to call it. But international law has names for everything that an aggressor power does. So we have to call it as it is. And the way you deal with an aggressor power is very, very symbolic. You cannot just allow somebody to do something and the person go free and you say okay, it's okay. It's not okay. Our 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 crisis is annexation crisis. It's imperialistic crisis. It's a crisis of one country trying to colonize another country. That is it. This is not about going to be drinking champagne in Canada and be saying La Republic. We don't, there is no other thing. If you go and ceasefire, the ceasefire must go in line with this annexationist country, removing all their troops out of our land. That is ceasefire. Ceasefire is not just go and sit somewhere and say, sign document and say it's ceasefire. That's not ceasefire. Ceasefire must go in line with what you're trying to ceasefire for. So if La Republic government want a genuine ceasefire, it should go in line with what we are talking about ceasefire. And I listened to the program yesterday where the UN expert was talking about different forms of colonization, different form of ceasefire that they have, different form of conflicts. But he really emphasized that each conflict has its own specificity. That is very important. Each conflict has their own specificities, and we have to very, very be caution about how we go about that. Okay, why our case is very specific is that we are not uh, trying to create a new country. We are not creating something. Okay, we are not trying to topple a government. We are not rebels. We are not. We are not terrorists. Okay, we are not trying to do like a coup. This is not about toppling a government. This is not about anything that has to do with change of state, change of governance, good governance or bad governance. That has nothing to do with this. Okay, this is something that two countries went into agreement, and the agreement was not fulfilled, right? Okay, and this is what they call uh, uh, the the failed decolonization process. Most of the countries that were not fully decolonized are today still suffering because of that. And if you look at what is going on in country in a let me say regions, because they are still okay. Take for example Hong Kong. Okay, China does not want any country to recognize Hong Kong as a country. Hong Kong has their president. Hong Kong has their own elections. They have their own parliament. But China don't want countries to recognize Hong Kong. You understand what I'm saying? If America want to recognize Hong Kong, China gets angry with America. The same thing with Taiwan. Taiwan, China still claims territorial ownership of Taiwan. Taiwan has its president. He has he has he has her own government, everything. But yet, Taiwan cannot be recognized because of China veto power. You see, that is why Ch Taiwan is bigger than many countries today. Hong Kong is a very prosperous region, but because China is blocking their recognition, they cannot be called a country. That is the same thing that is going on with Ambazonia today. We have a country, right? But because France is blocking any discussion that want to come with the in the Security Council on a Ambazonia issue, it's very difficult. And any country that want to recognize Ambazonia today will have problem with France. That is what is going to be. Any country that want to recognize Ambazonian territory will have problem with France. That is where our own problem is coming from. We are getting angry with La Republic. You know, we don't understand the politics behind these things. Okay, if Ambazonia is recognized by any country today, the first person that will get problem with that country is not even La Republic, because La Republic herself is still under France. And I hope some of us should understand the French policy on its colonial territories. France is still controlling her territories. Yes, so don't confuse. France is still controlling her territories. Some people will think that France or La Republique is independent. La Republique is not yet independent. They are still using French monies. Eh? They are still using French money. France is all French territories, French African territory are still under France. Okay, you know their currency is still French francs. None of them is using any other currency. Mm. All the money that Cameroon is using today, like probably using, all the CEMAC countries are using the same money. They call it CEMAC. It's not like Nigeria with their Kobo or Naira, or Ghana with their cedis, or South Africa with their rands. Each country, all the English country already have their currencies. They used to use pounds too, the British pounds. But after independence, all these British colonies got their their own currencies. And that is what is different between the British colonized territories and the French colonized territories. Okay. France is still putting all these countries under their canopy. So we are looking at these discussions in the form of, you remember, Macron came to the US. That is when that order of search on President Chris House came about. That is how the search on Eric Tatos came about. That is how the arrest of this. So anything that happened has a trace. Okay, it has a trace. Look, we have to look at things very critical. Okay, I am an investigator. I investigate many criminals in America. I know how to. I know what when something happened. I know how we can trace it. We don't. When Macron came to America, he engineered those things that happened within that time. Okay, and he was the one that he was afraid that some of those French colonial dictators will not be invited by Biden. So he came ahead and lobbied for them. He came, even then, the countries that has canceled their ties with France, Emmanuel Macron came ahead and asked America not to invite them. How does that have to do with America? That is where you have the politics behind it. Macron came ahead and told Biden, please, Benin, Mali, Burkina Faso, don't invite them. Okay. Remember, AU sanctioned these countries for having a coup d'etat. But France is angry because the Mali president canceled those colonial pact with France. Okay. But we should know today that our war is against La République and France. We should not forget about France. I hear a lot of people are talking, but they try to forget about France. France is the picture. France is what they call the devil's advocate. France is the devil's advocate in this crisis. Many people are talking, but they forget about France. Okay, so anything that La République is doing to us, France has a hand in it. We should not forget that. So that's why I say anything that we want to do, whether it's ceasefire, we need somebody who is international. And since La République knew that Switzerland is a very, very strict country, they were looking for a soft country, okay? And they went and saw Canada. Canada is very soft that they'll be trying. They don't know La République's manipulation, so they'll accept any kind of thing that La République is trying to do. But I don't want to be very, very strict on the discussion that is going on in Canada because we don't have the document yet. We are waiting for Canada to give a written document because they say that Canada is going to write a written document on the discussion that was discussed. I don't want to talk on that because if I talk on that, I might be saying things that are not accurate. But for analysis purpose, our struggle when we go for any negotiation, we should not forget to talk about the root causes of this thing. The root causes of this thing is annexation, is territorial aggrandizement, is colonization, exploitation, is imperialism. Don't forget that international law has condemned this with very, very strict terms. International law does not allow imperialism, colonization, annexation in this era. And that is what is going on. I talked about the Bakassi judgment. The Bakassi judgment. And even the African Charter of Human Rights judgment that they asked La Republic during the time of your independence, were the people of Southern Cameroon in your country? They said no. Ha. They said, then why do you want to claim another country when the International Charter of Human Rights spell out, even the United Nations Charter spell out, the Geneva Convention spell out that, okay, the Geneva Convention has to do with the law of war. The other charters have to deal with the respecting of boundaries. All these are things that Cameroon government and the Cameroon La Republique is a signatory. Okay, these are international law. These are international treaties that when you sign, you are obliged to respect. After independence, all countries that got our independence, from France, from Britain, from Belgium, they were told to respect their boundaries at independence. They were told to respect it. So whatever is going on now is new colonization or annexation. It's annexation. And some people think that this is just La Republique trying to, that they say they want to protect their territorial integrity, or they want to protect their territory. What territory? You cannot claim somebody's territory when you people came together on equal status. This has nothing to do with your then you have the guts. This is what really angers me. Okay, you are coming to somebody's territory, you are putting the people in jeopardy, you are killing the people. Then you are instead asking other countries to say they should arrest them again. I don't understand how these people are. A lot of people, they are just terrible. They are terrible. When you are in this struggle, please remember that this is a war against annexation. It's a war against imperialism. Put that behind of your mind. We are not arguing when we go for negotiation. That's why La Republic has been looking for means to dodge the reality. But the history is there. The history is on our side. Okay? International community is on our side. United Nations is on our side. Law is on our side. Everything is on our side. So we are not even stressing. It's La Republic. That's why look, they will do all the gymnastics they want. They can do whatever they want. Okay? They will go to left, go to right, turn up, come down. They have tried everything. Right? The international community is only telling them that go to negotiation table with those people. The international community is not calling us terrorists. You have never heard United Nations, the recent judgment that was passed. The leaders of this struggle are those people in jail. Those were the first leaders, Ayok Tabe and Enera 10. The United Nations Commission on Arbitrary Arrests passed a judgment. You never heard them say, take this, oh, they should keep those terrorists in jail. Of course, you know what America does to terrorists. America jail all terrorists in Guatemala Bay. Guantanamo Bay. You don't know that? The guys that bombed the American Tower during the 9/11 attack, they are all in Guantanamo Bay. America don't jail terrorists inside America. They send them to Guantanamo Bay. The one that the terrorists like the one from Al Qaeda, all those people, They are arrested and sent to Guantanamo Bay. Those are the people who call terrorists. But when you, La Republic, you are coming to tell Ambazonian people who join you peacefully. And we had 64 votes, 64 countries voted for our independence. 64. The history is there. 23 countries voted against our independence. 23. 10 abstained. This is the United Nations in 1961. So America voted for our independence. So it's not something that is hidden. Okay. The former one of the United Nations Secretary General, Dash Hammarskjöld, made mention of this very thing, that this thing that they did not allow Ambazonian Southern Cameroon to be independent will bring problem, because putting them together when they have two different colonial past is not good. And he was right. Because why is it that only when Aijo discovered oil is when Aijo canceled the federal system? Because then, look, remember, when we had this federal system, we had the position of a vice president. Okay, it means that the vice president was the one to replace Aijo. Aijo was the first president of La Republic. Okay, then our own, when that federal system happened, Aijo manipulated first the constitution in the Fumban. That's why they always call Fumban. The Fumban conference was manipulated by Aijo. They were supposed to use the La Republic constitution and the other constitution of our people. Why? Aijo brought only their own constitution and come and present. In short, he imposed their own constitution on us. So till date, the constitution of that country, if not through force, through protest, the La Republic couldn't have even accepted certain things that they are trying to do. Like before we had GC board, for example, GC board was forced on them. They wanted us to have the La Republic system of education. They had to force GC board. Because remember, back in the days, GC was being marked in Britain. It was marked in Britain. La Republic did not allow the GC board in Cameroon, in Ambazonia itself. It's under protest. Many people died before La Republic accepted GC board. But now, as we speak, GC board has been removed from Boya to Yaoundé. Doing what in Yaoundé, I don't know. Because this is a body that runs Southern Cameroon's Anglo-Saxon system of education. It runs the GC. All the teachers have to go to Boya and Bamenda and mark the GC, right? Why do you take it to Yaoundé? Why do you move it to Yaoundé? You remove the GC, the CDC headquarters, sent to Yaoundé. Remove Sonara headquarters, Sonara oil, create a pipeline going back to Douala, and they are paying to Douala Council taxes. So there are many things that when we see it, people don't see it. They just look at the picture. Oh, we want peace. We want peace. We want peace. You want peace, but how do you live in a kind of environment where you don't have a say, you don't have anything? Peace must come with justice. If you have peace, peace is. We have been having peace for 60 years. But you have been suffering for 60 years. Suffering in silence. That's what they call suffering in silence. people who are in this government, they'll behave as if they are very nice people. They go and sit in front of the front row church every Sunday. But what they do, very evil people. So we are just telling our own people, we should keep fighting. We have a just cause. We have a just cause. Our people can do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want, but we have a just cause, and we must follow it till the end. Okay? I just want to make this clear. When you have a peace process, you must follow through with all, our peace process should not be like people going to a Matango bar and discuss it, drink wine, come out. No. We have to follow from the root cause. We go now to, because there's a lot of treaties that La Republic have signed, a lot of business deals, a lot of this thing that they call handing our companies to foreign countries. A lot. Even the small countries like Monte is part of CDC. They just come and give it to French company. It's called Monte. When it's CDC, they just sell some. They just give what we call privatization to a small area that says Monte. There is CDC banana company still producing banana. Water, even this water, Supermon, is still, this is thing that, so we cannot have that. We cannot own that company. Must it be French companies that can own? Supermon is under the, around after Moyoka there. Natural water coming from the mountain, but they are putting in that bottle and sell to you people. Go to Douala, you see Supermon. Know that it's coming from mountain, Boya Mountain. But they are selling it to you people. Selling your own water, your own natural water to you. Then it's a French company managing it. Talk about Limbe, Victoria Seaport. Just that seaport alone can employ most of the young ones who have been kept. See these guys who have been kept, like, go and keep them in DDR Center. What do they do in DDR Center? When they have to start training those guys to start doing something. We have all the companies there. Why don't they train them? Why go and keep them in a semi-prison called DDR Center? If these guys are saying that they don't have jobs. Remember the Kawa Yannick and all these guys? Yes, they explained to them that yes, this thing happened because we feel marginalized. We feel that we don't have a job, right? But why do you go and keep them where they will be there for almost 5 years today? So there's no job for them. The Limbe deep sea port is the best in the whole of West and Central Africa because it's in the Atlantic Ocean. It's not in river. It's the best that you can have. But why do La Republic don't want to make to produce that Limbe deep sea port? It's because they don't want us to. They want us to rely on Douala seaport to ship our goods. They know that port will give a lot of money to us. They don't want that. Anything that will make us be independent, they don't want it. That is why, to them, decentralization to them is the only thing that they can give us. That's what they feel they can. They don't even want to talk about federation. It's a taboo to them. That is how greedy these people are. They don't even want to. Yeah. They don't want to even talk about federation because they'll say, how are these people going to be managing their own thing? We have lived with them for 60 years. We have pounded them. We have annexed them. We have colonized them for 60 years. How can they go and be managing their own things now? Go to Sonara. Go to Sonara. Not you. The only work that our people can work there is this labor, this local labor. They cannot allow our people to work. We have never had a director who is an Anglophone. A Southern Cameroonian has never been a director in Sonara. I grew up in Limbe. I knew how they were building Sonara. Our people constructed Sonara. But when Sonara started functioning, Basa, you hear a lokoma babi, malokoma, malol, mambado, malukoma, Douala, Basa, Ewondo. They're the one working in Sonara. Our people cannot work in Sonara. The school in Sonara is only for Basa, Douala children. They have Sonara buses going to pick them. But no school in the whole of Limbe has bus. Back in the days, it's only the workers of Sonara. So Sonara was like a privileged company. If your father works in Sonara, then you count yourself lucky. But that's a company that is in Limbe, Victoria. Then not to talk of the source of the oil. It's in Ndian. But if you check the road going to Ndian, Kumba, Ndian, never repaired. Nothing. It's abandoned area, all abandoned. They only focus on where they can just tap the oil and go to Douala. That's all they want. What are we gaining from this relationship? That is what you have to ask yourself. What are you gaining? A one-sided relationship is not what you have to do with. Leave that. Even if you are in a marriage relationship, leave that relationship. Leave. Don't settle for less. Don't settle for less, because anything that you settle for less, you have less. Yes. Don't settle for less. These people, I've lived in Yaoundé. I will tell you, there are people of big talks to blow that baby grammar like that. Oh, je suis the fondamental. Lazy people. But they like where they'll eat. They'll eat till they broke that pot. That's what they call chop broke pot. We had an international airport. Bali was an international airport. Tico was an international airport. But today, we don't have airport. We must go back to Douala. To send a ship, you go to send a container, Douala. When Douala is not it's a river that they will dig it because sand comes in. They dig it. Whereas Limbe is there. Limbe is there. I remember I worked in a Korean company before. This Korean company, the Cameroon government gave this project to build deep sea port in Cameroon. The Korean company made their feasibility study. You know, when they make this feasibility study, one of the directors consulted me and was telling me the thing that, wow, they have discovered that Limbe deep sea port, it will be the best for the country. This is around 2012. I'm telling you. So they presented this project to the Cameroon government. The Cameroon government rejected it. Say that they have asked the Korean company to build a seaport, but in Kribi, not in Limbe. The Korean companies showed them the feasibility study that they had. This Limbe seaport is a sea, Atlantic Ocean. This is a sea that will be very, very cheap and accessible for big ships. You know, there are ships that cannot come to certain those creek in Douala. You know, they have to go and offload many containers for the ship to come a little bit up. That's what happened. But in deep sea port, all the biggest ship of this world can come there. This Korean company explained to the government of La Republic that this is what is. We prefer Limbe because Limbe is an open area, it's a sea, and many ships can dock at once. Cameroon government told them that they want them to develop Kribi. Kribi is a small river like that. But they want them. That's what is that till date. They are still trying to construct that Kribi seaport. I saw an image where some chiefs of who in FACO, they were sending a motion of support to the president. For 60 years, they have been lying to our people that will build them the Limbe seaport. But it's all lies. They have even this their national dialogue thing. They mentioned that Limbe seaport, but it's all lies because they're just trying to cajole people. Yeah, these people are liars, so don't believe in them. Okay, don't believe in them. They'll tell you all those kind of things. They'll tell you. Don't ever believe in them. Yes, they will exaggerate. Big talk. Flow, je suis. Don't believe in them. They are great manipulators. Yes. When you work with these people, you know what they are. I've worked with them up front. Mm. They have intentionally turned our people to VIP, very, very improvised peasants, VIP, beggars, intentionally. But for us that know the reality, you know, that have lived, worked, and schooled with these people, nothing can come out from them. The few people that are still believing in them, we are still telling you because we have lived in, you know, we know what we are talking about. We have had experience. Okay. The concours that you go and write, they just want to raise money. Because you stay for 3 years, they say arrears. They will arrears. What is arrears? What we want to do in Southern Cameroon, when you raise income, people can make at least $2,000 a month in Ambazonian. That salary that they pay people there is just like chicken, petrol money. Eh? People cannot survive with that kind of salary. But I work in Cameroon as a director from a foreign company. I was making $3,000. So why is it that they pay foreign expert $3,000 when they work in Cameroon, but they cannot pay our people $3,000? Why? A foreign company sent me to Cameroon. I was earning at least $3,000 as my salary every month, but the local people cannot earn that kind of salary. So why don't they put all the salary the same and raise the income level? It's as simple as that. We can do that, but because these people are very greedy, they will cut salary. I've not I've not seen a country that has cut salary more than raising salary. Since I started about civil servant. After I graduated from Yaoundé University, I had to travel. But before traveling, you had to do what we call Chômeur camp. It's another school that is go moving around looking for jobs in Yaoundé there. Then you write those their concours things. You pass concours, you go and they say aura. I don't know where this thing come. Aura, you pass the aura. Then now the final stage, you have to go and do something now different. Bribe. You pass us. That is they make life so miserable for you know. And first of all, how much do they first of all pay? What is the salary that will make people scramble? People are trying to make ends meet as a country. They did us a favor. One person said that they did us a favor because most of us that are abroad, Rosa have seen the nooks and crannies of that country. Most of us that travel, we traveled long ago because we saw no hope in that country. You know, the people that are there are the ones that are eating those crumbs. Crumbs. Because when I was there, when I was sent back home, when I went back there, I was working in Douala. I was working at the port, so I know how the port operates. You know, it's Baudere that is running the port. It's a French company. All the income of that port for one day. My God. Because the way they run that port is that when goods come, they'll come and do the assessment. When they do the assessment, they'll tell you that this container is 7 million. For example, that 7 million, how many goes to the government coffers? Maybe 1 million. That's how it is. So they decide the price of a container without having any form of regulatory order or anything being computerized. Okay, they only tell you that this is this. Put for that 7 million, you put 5 million here, you put 2 million in a government coffers. That's how it is. That's why the government cannot make money in that place because it's not regulated and it's done by a foreign company. And the foreign company don't care because it's a French company. They have done what we call privatization. So any amount that the government can just say, send us 200 million in this account. That's all one. When that 200 million enters, they'll share it among themselves, the ministers there, and that's it. It ends it. But imagine how much money comes in every month in that seaport. Imagine that seaport employs more than 5,000 to approximate more because it has so many different companies there. So if just imagine that seaport in Limbe, many companies are going to be created there, or many companies are going to come there, dealing with different car companies and all those other companies. You create a lot of jobs there. Only one thing that they can do, but because of greed, they think that if they bring a seaport there, we will not be sending our containers to Douala port. And it's true. Because you will not have a seaport in Limbe, you go and be sending your container in Douala. It doesn't make sense. They don't want to fix the airport in Tiko because they know that we'll be landing in Tiko. Why should we go land in Douala when we'll have Bali Airport, we'll have Tiko Airport? I land in Tico, of course. Land in Bali. If you look the flight, Tico has flight, Bali has flight. Why should I be landing in Douala? Where before you leave Douala, you reach in your destination in Tico, about 10 checkpoints, police checkpoints. So, so you skip all those checkpoints. They have turned our Tico airport now to, it's not aircraft, it's witchcraft. Now, the airport that we had, that was international airport, is nowhere to be found. That's how they turn our infrastructures. From aircraft, we have the witchcraft now in that place. Nothing functions anymore. Our things have been taken by them, and the rest goes. That is why we are saying that this crisis is, just imagine what has transpired for 60 years. Think about it. If you are in your right senses, you want that country to be like that, then the future of your children will be the worst future for them. Yes, this thing is not about us. That's why I always tell you people, please, this thing is not about us. Yes, it's not about us. Very soon we are going, but we are fighting for the generation, the other generation, because what we have seen along the years, it's not something that is good. Because my childhood was when Biya came to power. That was when I came to this earth. I saw Biya from childhood, so till now, 40 years. So I'm saying what I've seen. It's not good. We should fight for your own country, because even for us abroad, you people think that we are happy abroad. No way. Everybody you say, you ask, nobody will live abroad when you want to go back to your own country. Home is home. There's nothing you can compare. You can have all the kind of thing you have here, you want. Everything you can want, you want. But we are asking ourselves, why are people suffering back home? That's a question we ask every day. We can live abroad fine. We have good jobs here. We have everything we want. But the system has been made very easy. In America, you don't have to stress to have a car. You know, why should you be stressing to have a car? Why should you go and be praying? You go and pray in God to have a house when the system has been facilitated. You just go and ask a bank that you want to have a house. They'll give you money. You go and ask a bank that you want to have a car. They'll give you the money. You pay every month. Why can't we put those systems there for our people to enjoy life easy? You see, that is when we see people suffering there, we're asking why. When we have the resources. We are not poor. Our people are not poor. And we have lived in countries where we see they don't even have resources there. I live in Japan. Japan is the highest car company maker now in the world. Toyota, Mitsubishi, Kawasaki, Suzuki, all these companies are Japanese companies. The Japanese don't have resources. Ask yourself, how are they building this shipbuilding? #1 in the world, Japan. They build ships. But ask yourself, how are they managing to build these companies when they don't have the resources, even more than Ambazonian? That is what we're talking about. We want to create the same system. Go to South Korea. All these countries are small countries. Small little countries like that. They are not big countries. They're not big countries. They're small countries. But the technology that I saw there, that is why when we see what is going on back home, we get angry. Not because that we are just activists or we are just people who want to talk. No. is what we have seen, and we have traveled the world. So it got us angry that why are these people, we have the resources, but why are our people suffering? Eh, So we have to learn from that, because that is the thing that we have seen. That's why we get angry. You see, we get angry because of that. So we are just pleading to our people, know that this is a just cause, it's a just fight. Okay? No amount of threat, no amount of threat will make people in America to be afraid to keep fighting for you people back home. No amount. So never you be afraid of that tragedy they are saying back there. No, if all of us in America, most of us are already American citizens, they will never arrest us, take us to La Republic, no one day. America will never carry citizens and go and lock in La Republic. So they will only judge you here. They will judge here and tell you, okay, you are this, you are guilty or not guilty, you know. That's all. But America protects its citizens. Just know you that. America, if you hear that they arrest an American citizen, even in UK, America, the first thing America does is to try to bring the person to America, and they free you. Yes, you saw the recent one in Russia, the basketball player. America will do whatever they can to bring you back to America, then they free you. So they do not want to suffer their citizens, no. So whatever like Bobby is saying, oh, nah, it's zero. Don't ever take them serious. They have explained this thing to them. The actions of the international community has stipulated, please go to the negotiation table. Go and talk with these people. Go and talk. Like, we don't want to go and talk. You have seen all those things that they have done. For the past 6 years, what have they been doing? Create commission of bilingualism, create commission of DDR center, create commission of this. What is all that? Then you imagine how much money has been squandered. That's what they call misappropriation of countries' wealth. Nobody to hold them to account. They just use the money as they want. Nobody can hold them to account. They misappropriate the money. You saw the recent one of the COVID money. The COVID money was squandered. Nobody to hold them. But we will hold them to account. Our role is to hold them to account. Remember, Hitler did the same thing that BI is doing. But when they held Germany, remember the Second World War and First World War and Second World War. When Germany was doing that thing, Hitler thought that he is a king. He wanted to conquer Europe. When they held him, up to date, Germany is still paying money to Poland. Yes, still paying money. Reparation. For war, they call it reparation. But it's a payback. All the sufferings, the killings, massacre, genocide, scorched earth policy, anything that you do to a people, you as an aggressor power, you pay back. And that is what we are going to be putting on the negotiation table. So whoever is going to discuss with those thing that they are going to discuss in Canada, ceasefire, they don't even know what they are doing. I don't want to talk about that today because I just want, we are waiting for the Canada government to release the document that they signed. Let's see what they signed. Because you cannot just go and sit and just say ceasefire. You don't even know the terms of a ceasefire. Ceasefire entails the both parties, the warring factions, to go to their barracks, leave the war zone. Then the zone become demilitarized. You cannot keep you cannot implement ceasefire without having an independent party like the United Nations or like like the regional body, CEMAC or ECOWAS or AU, to send their troops to come and create what they call DMZ. DMZ is the what they call demilitarized zone, where no army will be there, no fighting will be there. So the Ambazonian restoration fighters will go to their barracks. La Republic will go to La Republic. They will not stay in Ambazonia. So these people signing ceasefire, do they know what is a ceasefire? That is why we are saying that, why are we calling for a genuine negotiation? Because we want experts in each domain to go and talk on our behalf. 8 million people is not 3 people to go and sit and be eating, drinking wine and talk nonsense there. Okay, in all the various areas, we want experts. In the area of, in the side of military, we need an expert. In the humanitarian side, we need an expert. In the side of the economy, we need an expert. In the side of resources, our resources, we need an expert. Why? Because those experts will they'll go into detail about each of these areas, assess it, and come out with a result. You see, they have to consult all the families that have lost someone, all the families that have lost houses. They have to assess all those things to pay back. They have to pay back all these families. And they are still burning the houses. They will not go free. They will not go free. This thing is not to go and give people money somewhere and say ceasefire. What kind of ceasefire are you talking about? They have to pay back all these things. All. Aggressor power, you will never do that to any country and you go free. No way. So that is what we are talking about. So whatever they're doing, they should know the modalities. I'm happy with what Professor Anyangwe said. He said they need experts in all those, and it's true. In the field of our resources, they need people who can talk about resources. For the side of humanitarian, they need to. We need to assess all these things, everything, so that when we are separating, we are not going to talk to them whether form of state or that thing again, because we could have been talking about that when the crisis started. But now, with all these things that people have done to us, if any of you watching me now can really accept that you can go and still be cohabitation with these people, then even your marriage in your house, if your husband treats you like this, then you still stay in that marriage. Then you don't know the kind of relationship you are. Seriously, because if you treat somebody like this, no matter the circumstances, don't stay in that house. Leave. Because the next thing they'll kill you, if you are still alive, you cannot stay with these people again. So whatever discussion they have, that is their problem. But once they start going to ceasefire, it means they want something serious. But number one concern is for the process to go as a normal process. They should not push us because they want transition in a left from Biakom and be president there. Then they do what they call recuperate. I just said they'll come back and continue the war. No. We'll not be pushed by that. We want re-dialogue, renegotiation, where the Switzerland did a very good job. And because La Republique realized that Switzerland government was too orderly, they said no, they don't like this kind of negotiation. They left and they took us to Canada. How can you not suspect this kind of people? It's the negotiation process that was there. The Swiss government The Canadian government was even sponsoring uh, it was very organized. It was going gradually. The Swiss government was doing their investigation. They were doing their findings, making all those things. That is how negotiation is. You don't pressure people. You see, they were having their discussion, and they were having town hall. The acting, the leaders, the former leaders, they were asking all leaders to come to at least to one forum so that they can be talking, making, mm, putting their heads together. But the Republic did not want this because that is what makes us strong when we all the leaders are putting their head together to give answers to this kind of situation. They don't like that. They want us to see when this leader is arguing with this one, they are happy. When the leader is arguing with this one, okay. But we already know the Republic system is divide and rule, divide and rule. So we are wise enough. But we just hope that after the letter comes out, then we'll know how our next response will be to the for the way forward. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I can see a lot of people on YouTube. I can see a lot of people on Facebook. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you watching. Yeah, I'm just giving my own opinion now. Even though I'm a member of government, but I am not giving what is about government. This is my own personal opinion. So I thank you very much and stay blessed and see you in the next episode. Thank you very much. Okay.